Hi, Spots and Cheap Pops. You're on the air.
What is going on in the world of pro wrestling? It's High Spots and Cheap Pops. Lottie Dottie Jey Uso.
Yes.
And Gunther, you and I had a very famous video that almost went viral. And we talked about how Jey Uso was the wrong choice to win the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Because no one's going to be, because we knew he was not picking Cody. We knew that in our soul he wasn't going to pick Cody. So we knew it was going to be Gunther unless Gunther somehow lost the title to somebody else. And what we have seen, Vladdy Dottie, is exactly what we predicted, that it's not going to draw a lot of interest. And unless they can make this a great build, this is going to be a very long and terrible storyline. The early results, and they're not so early now, are about a month and a half out from the Royal Rumble. The results are this has not been a great build. And the results are is people don't care. The results are is that this title in a mere couple months has deteriorated to a secondary championship that might be the second or third, maybe even fourth, Vladdy, maybe even fifth most important storyline in your company right now is a world championship match between Gunther and Jey Uso that has people at record levels disliking on Facebook. And with internet critics alike in the wrestling internet community not digging on this at all. This has been an absolute disaster so far, and probably the number one reason why WrestleMania, despite the Cena heel turn, WrestleMania does not have near the juice we saw last year going into Philadelphia.
You're 100% correct. Looking at this feud, which is getting a lot of dislikes on YouTube, especially, you could see like the trouble brewing amongst the universe right there, and like. It's one thing where you're getting this sort of this feedback, but then there's another thing when you add to this, when Jey Uso looks to go and do a leap over the rope, and it's very Top Dollar-esque.
Oh, God, that was bad.
And it just sort of was the icing on this weird sort of cake that Triple H is trying to bake. And he's trying to pass it off as something like, and this is everybody wants. And I don't necessarily agree with that sort of point of view. I mean, honestly, we've discussed it before. Jey Uso is not necessarily main event I understand his main event, Jey Uso. I can't take that away from the Uso. But in WrestleMania? No.
I think it was you who sent it to me. I'm sure it was. Because the other person I talk about pro wrestling with wouldn't send this. You said, main event, you said in name only.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. That was your line. I wanted you. I wish you gave it. I felt bad because that was brilliant. Main event in name only.
Yeah, somebody has to use that on them.
Dude, can't cut a great promo. I don't give a fuck what I don't give a poop what anyone says. I don't really care what anyone says. I don't remember any singles match he has ever been in that has moved me outside of you were doing the real dramatic stuff with Roman, which I thought was brilliant. But that was based on the drama and the moment, and it was more about the build of Roman's character. That was the building blocks of Roman becoming the final boss, or not, Roman becoming the tribal chief.
Yes.
That was the building blocks of it. Jey Uso played a very important part of that. No doubt about it. But he's not a captivating promo by any stretch. And he's not a top 25 guy in-ring performer you have on your roster. What makes him so special is this. I'm sorry. End of list. End of list.
I saw some other commentator on Instagram mentioning that the reason that Jey Uso is in this position is because he's a larger draw, in which he's selling this, and let me ask you this though. With the current roster, the way it is on WWE, If Jey Uso wasn't at an event, would the crowd be heartbroken or no?
You wouldn't think so, but there might be some kids out there.
Yeah, okay. It's
I
a
certainly
fair
wouldn't
statement.
be. I wouldn't give it. I would actually, with their roster, I went to a live show. I don't want to see Jey Uso. Sorry. He's not making my top. I don't know. I would have to think about it, but I mean, there's a lot of people in WWE I like more than Jey Uso. I like his brother. I like Jimmy more than Jey. That's how low Jey is, and I love Jimmy though, and you know that I've had a Jimmy, not in a sexual way, but I've had a Jimmy fetish for like 2 years. I think he's the most entertaining, has the biggest balls. Who kicked Roman in the head first? Jimmy.
Right.
Not his fault they screwed his character up by making him turn on his brother for no reason at all.
Where does Jey Uso rank with Tama Tonga with you?
Oh, he's over Tama.
Okay. All right.
Tama. I love Tama. I love him, but his presentation in WWE is just. I feel bad saying this, but anyone can do what Tama Tonga is doing. He is a very overpaid henchman, and he always gets beat. And he always is the guy that's taking the heat. You know, I mean, Tama Tonga has been presented like garbage. If you are a New Japan guy and you thought Tama Tonga, here he is, a founding member of the Bullet Club. So I think he's a 7-time IWGP Tag Champion. Cuts a promo and a half if you let him. And if you saw what he's doing in WWE, just being kind of a lackey, not having any mic time, not being able to entertain the way he really, to his full capacity, you'd be disappointed. But he's collecting a monster check and not working as hard as he was. So God bless him. But he's not, his presentation in WWE has not been good in my eyes. So Jey Uso, at the end of the day, Vlad, he just is not doing the job.
Yeah, and the people are starting to speak, so it makes you wonder, how do they play this? How does Triple H book this?
I think he books it the same way he was going to book it. I think he keeps the idea, but I think you might see something big. I'll get to something in a second. I think at this point in time with the Uso Gunther thing, you got to play. He's going to ride it out. He's going to do exactly what he's going to do, but he might change the direction of where he was going at WrestleMania. He might have had a direction 2 months ago where Jey Uso's winning. I don't see Jey Uso winning as a babyface at WrestleMania at this point in time because people are already against this. Is there a possibility that Gunther loses his title to somebody that might make a more compelling match? No, because they're not going to give up the last 6 weeks of television that they put in at the last minute. They're going to ride this out.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. They're going to ride this out. But, it makes me wonder because I think Jey Uso is winning no matter what. Babyface or heel, I think he's winning. I hate to be that guy, but I just don't think they're going to go and try to recreate like the yes thing, but
that's what I said. That's what I've been saying.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I've been saying. They want
for WrestleMania.
They want to see 80,000 people doing this shit.
Right.
80,000 people are going to be doing this shit too. And 80,000 people are going to be singing that ridiculous, stupid song by Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Pavlovian dogs.
Well, listen, it's obvious that you can't stand to eat, so you got to get out of the kitchen.
Dun, 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 dun. I love that. Wow. Got to give it up for Lottie Dottie, everybody. Bringing the absolute very best when it comes to puns.
I mean, what else do you do with this jerk? Like, he doesn't belong in main event.
And we've said that before. But Rock's daughter doesn't need to be the GM of NXT either, so I guess things happen, right?
The writing's on the wall with this company, man. This is going to be the Rock's playground.
But the head shrinkers can't get into the WWE Hall of Fame? You can't pull a string or two? Samu needs to be in the goddamn Hall of Fame. Fucking bullshit. They were the second 3-time champions of all time in WWE. The second. The Smoking Guns won like 70.
It's not bad to be number 2.
Could have been 10.
So, in regards to Jey Uso turning heel, is this a possibility considering the fans' reaction?
100%. And that might be what you see at WrestleMania.
Where the Jey and you consider what happened at the Royal Rumble with Cena of all people and how Jey won.
Very pussy-like.
It's as if he gave it up for him. Put him in the position to win it.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden that would be part of the bloodline attaching itself to the final boss. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but of all things.
No, that's brilliant, though.
Then the final boss would have two champions on both shows.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, I would totally consider doing that, especially considering the way the reaction's going.
Especially because, yeah, exactly. There's no other way you can do it. The thing is, can Jey Uso carry that as a heel?
Oh, I mean,
no!
It'd be a hell of a I doubt it. I sincerely doubt it, but man, it'd be a great way to like get some insane heat. I mean, would you do it on the night he wins at WrestleMania, or you reveal that at the Raw with the final boss and Cena and maybe Cody?
I would do it at WrestleMania because it would validate everything that you did with him and Gunther leading into it. It was okay. It would make it okay. If he wins as the babyface and you had that story with him winning as a babyface, that's bullshit. And also, you can turn Gunther heel, and he's already getting cheers as it is. The problem is you can't turn Gunther heel because Jerkoff-Berg is coming back for his final match.
He comes from a long line of jerk-offs.
But I think that would be the only thing. I don't think you can have a double turn there. I think you just have... But Gunther's going to have to be pissed at somebody. That's the only problem with turning him heel. You're exactly right. That's the only problem with turning him heel at WrestleMania.
Right. So he would then walk away with it, with that feud kept in check. And it's a new chapter starting on Raw.
Exactly. That's probably a great point, actually. You're killing it with the points tonight. I'm not going to lie to you about Jey Uso.
Thanks, man.
The bottom line here is, folks, Jey Uso doesn't cut a great promo, and he is not a great wrestler. He's good at both.
Yeah. Great tag team wrestler. Can't take that away from him.
All right.
See, I'll give him that. I mean,
they're a legendary tag team because they were in an era where there were three other tag teams that ever won, really. New Day. There was no other tag team that was consistently an issue. Everybody else broke up. Vince used it as a vehicle to build single stars. And he never thought that the Usos, any of them, would be single stars.
Yeah, that's true. There's no way that's happening, pal. Main event who?
Yeah, I mean, what would they make their first Mania like 3 years ago? I mean, come on, man.
All right, now brother versus brother. Let's see how this goes.
That's the other thing. Every big spot Jey Uso gets, he's botched, like metaphorically and literally.
It's covering all bases there, Papa H.
Like, when has he had a big moment that he built on his own? I'm waiting. Tell me, when did Jey Uso build a moment in WWE that was strictly on his own? Not given circumstances, not given anything. When was the one promo he cut that you say is an all-time great promo, or even a great promo that you will always remember? There's not one.
Are you forgetting about when he cried after the Royal Rumble victory?
I'm not talking shit. I don't want no smoke from Rikishi.
You will get a tweet.
No, that's a real moment. That actually I'm not going to make fun of. That's actually probably but those promos, I don't want to use the word of a lack of a better term and say gimmicky, but those promos usually hit for a second, but it has to be part of something else that you're doing, and you have to get over still, because you can cut that promo and then people care about you for a week or two, but if you don't produce after that, it ain't gonna matter. Thank you so much for watching High Spots and Cheap Pops. For Vladi Dottie, this is Silicon Steve Alley. Hit the subscribe button and let us know what you think. Thank you for watching, and here endeth the lesson.